part of the process of understanding your creative being, understanding that it's an expression of self. So the more stuff you're absorbing, it's going in. And then what happens when you come to have to solve a problem and you hit a bit of a roadblock, you've just got to switch off and let all that stuff that's gone in and go for a walk.
Yeah.
And I always say I do my best thinking when I'm not thinking. And my brain, it pops in like that. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Or you see something, you go, that's very good. And that starts a process going. A conversation can start a process going. And that way you then get to a solution. But one, you've got to be allowing stuff to come in. Read as many different things as you possibly can read. Don't just go to art shows. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Do more than that. Be curious. You know, they say Leonardo da Vinci was one of his geniuses. I mean, the man was a genius. That he was very gregarious. He loved talking to people. He would see a craftsman, a tradesman doing something, and he'd ask them, well, why did you do it like that? That's interesting. And he was fascinated. And that fascination drove his need to find out more, and that drove his creativity.
Didn't he work in really short bursts and then have breaks? I think.
No, it would vary. Apparently, when he was painting The Last Supper, they put benches out for people to come and watch him, and he might turn up for 5 minutes, not doing anything, and go, and then next day he'd be there for 12 hours. You know, and people would come and watch him. He was kind of.
Yeah, I like that idea of you know, there's no, it's not like an 8-hour day. It's when
It is funny. There are two great documentary series one could watch. One is the Peter Jackson movie on the Beatles.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, their album, and the other one is the Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street. Now, the Beatles, they're fantastic. Oh, I'm a great Beatle fan. They turned up at 10 o'clock, have a cup of tea, and sit down and start working and start playing. They stopped for something to eat at 1 o'clock. Then at 2 o'clock, they went back, carried on working, finished at 5 o'clock, went home. The Rolling Stones, and produced a genius album. Genius. The Rolling Stones, on the other hand, they're in the south of France, drugs everywhere, they're people coming in and out, nothing happened till about midnight, then they'd get going, and then they'd finish at 9 o'clock in the morning and all be kind of zonked and chaos. Out of it, a genius album. There is no absolute right or wrong. It's what you feel you like doing.
Who do you prefer, the Beatles or the Stones?
I love them both. I mean, I thought, I suppose in the end, I think they're both just absolutely brilliant. I think in the end I admire the Beatles because they were able to go from one genre to another genre to another genre to another.
They constantly reinvented.
They reinvented. And that takes huge courage to go, I've done that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do this. Picasso had that. Picasso went from, I'm not going to do cubism anymore. I've done it. What's I going to do? I'm going to redo it. I'm going to paint a portrait like this. So he creates Dora Maar.
And they all did it. It was only 9 years. That's what I find crazy.
Well, it was slightly longer because, of course, they were in Berlin.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Hamburg, I should say. They were in Hamburg.
Yeah.
So they were kind of working together. And then you're quite right in a way. It was, you know, a 10-year period. But then I do say that most creative careers last 10 years. They have 10 years when they do their great work. And then if you're lucky, you're in an industry where you can go on repeating what it is you did in that wonderful flowering, that great moment of creative expression. Like music, you know, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote Jumping Jack Flash in, I don't know, it was 1968. They can go around the world singing it today and, you know, they'll be very successful. Now, the problem that you have is if you're in an industry, creative industry, where you have to come in every day and have a new idea, how do you solve that? So how do you go, I'm going to go from a 10-year career to a 15, 20, 30, 40-year career? That's one of the big challenges.
How do you do that? Because I think
there are a number of
creative longevity is something I want to be doing this for a long time.
Well, there are a number of things that you can do. It's in my little book on Hegarty on creativity. I talk about
reread that,
reread that, and I mean, a number of them are One, stay curious.
Yep.
That's fundamentally important. Surround yourself with great people. It's inspiring. Only look at great work, because if you read shit, you'll think shit, you'll create shit. All right? That sounds very kind of elitist, but I'm sorry.
What's the best? What are your favorite books, or like what?
Oh, I keep reading amazing books. I keep reading them. I don't, I mean, I could go back and talk about.
Yeah, because I'd love to just know for me.
Yeah, no, a book I loved was written by a man called James Stevens, and it's called A Crock of Gold. I think you can just get it. Crock of Gold. Wonderfully philosophical, mystical book. It's just,
Wow.
I thought, wonderful, wonderful. So don't become, you've got to be an optimist. Cynicism destroys creativity. And there are a few more that you can do. And if you indulge in those, then, or if you live by those things, then you will extend your creative.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks your e-com and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.